My wife's secret life was exposed when she landed in the hospital. After a client put her there, my ex and I met in college. She was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. She always had a crowd of guys following her around. I had some classes with her over the 4 years, but I never pursued her because of all the other guys. One day after class, she asked if I would study with her, and the rest is history. So, we married and we started our careers in the same industry, different companies. A male-dominated industry. I found immediate success while she struggled. She changed jobs in the first year. She continued to struggle. In the third year, she became pregnant with our first son. She worked through the pregnancy. A few weeks after giving birth, in a routine physical, her doctor asked to do a biopsy of her cervix. The results came back as precancerous cells were found. The doctor advised if we wanted more children to do it as quick as possible, as this will progress and a hysterectomy will be needed eventually. So, when she was up to it, she became pregnant again. She gave birth again to a boy within a year of each other. Afterward, more tests were done, and different doctors advised to do the procedure now, as we should not wait. With 2 babies still infants, she had her procedure done. She was heartbroken that she was done having children, as we had wanted a large family. She poured herself into being a great mother, and she was and still is. She became a stay-at-home mom. She took care of everything at home. Meanwhile, my career was moving along. I was offered a position with another company with a large salary bump. Life is good. When the boys went off to school, she volunteered at school and was a fixture there. I should mention that we had close friends we went to school with, Anna and Bob. We saw each other often. They started their family about the time we did. They have 1 son. The families went on vacations together, dinner, outings. We were best of friends. After the son was born, Anna went back to work, and she is very successful. Bob had a good job also until his job was eliminated. He struggled to find work in his field as the economy back then really affected his field. So, the decision was he would be a stay-at-home dad while looking for work where we lived, as they did not want to move. The ex and Bob, they expended time together with the kids. When the kids were all in school, they still hung out. You can now guess they had an affair. This part was what she told me. After about a year of this, Bob asked ex if she and I had ever talked about a threesome. We had this talk in the past, but it was all fantasy talk, nothing more, as we were still having a great sexual relationship. My ex knew that I would not accept, but she accepted. Bob had a friend he wanted to bring into the bedroom with him. The day came and this guy, Charlie, came over to Bob's house, so they had their threesome. Afterward, the guy told them that he usually had to pay for sex, so he left a couple $100 bills and asked ex if he could have a one-on-one with her. She told him she needed to think about that, and Bob would get back to him. They say yes, and eventually Charlie recommended someone else, and a business was born. Eventually, Bob was reemployed and had to leave ex on her own. She used a different cell phone. She rented out a storage unit and made it her closet/office. She used the money to buy outfits her clientele requested. She even bought a car. She did not want her minivan spotted at a hotel. The guys had to pay for a room at a nice hotel. She kept the car at the storage unit. Everything was in cash. She never brought the money into our lives that I know of, though we would send the kids to different day camps during summer. She claimed she tightened up our budget to pay for it. She only worked during school hours. She always picked the boys up at school. On a few rare occasions, Bob would pick them up and keep them until she got home. Our home life never suffered. I admit I was working a ton and moving up the ladder. The weekends were our family time. Sex was generally on the weekends. I thought because of my work life this worked best. Most nights we would cuddle on the couch watching TV. 5 years ago, we have 1 son in college, the other a senior in high school. I get a call from Bob. Ex is in the hospital. He was vague, but said she is hurt bad. I rushed to the hospital. My wife is hooked to a bunch of machines. They've already cleaned her up and taken her for x-rays. She has a broken jaw, broken nose, fractured orbital bone, possible concussion. She will make it, but will be a long road ahead. A police officer was finishing up and left. I, of course, want to know what happened. She was crying, talking gibberish through her sobs and pain meds. A nurse said I should let her rest. They were moving her to a room soon. She handed me a bag with her clothes. I looked in and asked if these were hers because she never wears heels and the dress was unfamiliar. The nurse said this is what they brought from the hotel room. So they pushed me out of the room. I called my sons to let them know. Later that night, when the fog of the drugs was wearing off, I got some of the story. She drifted off again. I had my youngest son sit in with her, and I called Bob. Why did he call me? How did he know before me? What's going on? So Bob come clean about what my wife was up to, leaving out the affair and his involvement. I was devastated. We eventually get her home after surgery on her jaw. The nose would wait. She convalesced at home. As she got stronger, I got the whole story. I called Anna and told her the affair and Bob as a pimp. She threw Bob out. As my ex got on her feet, I told her we were done. I asked her to move out. She moved in with Bob. I got the divorce rolling. I am sitting here 5 years later divorced. I still love her, or rather, I still love the version of her she used to be. It is as if she had died. The grief is unbearable. My boys know what she did. I have not spoken to her since she left. Best comments with Opie's participation. Karma is a bitch. How did she end up in the hospital? Was she beat up by a client? For what she told me, it was one of her clients. She had a system where they would request on a certain day and time. She would send an okay. They then give a room number to a nice hotel. The guy was a regular for a certain day and time, but that time he never sent a request, so she took a different client. He sent her the hotel and room number, but she ignored it. The next week he did everything right. She showed up. He was mad. They argued. He hit her several times, then roped her. Is she still living with Bob? Are your sons in good terms with her? Is she still a prostitute? I have no idea what she is doing. The boys do see her sometimes, but they know to never to talk about her to me. They're better than me then. If I found out my mom was doing this, my relationship with her would be over. Why do the kids continue to see her? What do they think of her? She is their mother. She never let her job get in the way of that. I have no idea what they think of her or whether they talk to her often or barely speak to her at all. We do not talk about her. It's crazy that she started this business while you were able to provide for the family. I wouldn't be surprised if she had done something like this before, maybe back in college, since you mentioned she always had a lot of guys following her around. Usually, a woman only does this kind of thing when she's already done it in the past and has no issue doing it again for some extra cash, not out of necessity.